The old coaches were feeling ill. They would creak and groan as the handle pulled them along. Sir Handel was dismissive, and he would say,
"Oh, it's just your coming of age. It was always going to happen. Oh, it's normal. You're just that age."
But Peter Sam was very worried. The problem became so bad that Mr. Hugh had to inspect them one day.
"Oh, wood rot," he reported. "Agnes is fine, but I don't trust the others on her bumpy track."
Agnes was glad to be in good health, but felt bad for her sisters.
"Oh, well, I'm dreadfully sorry, girls. I do hope you'll get well soon. You'll get well soon, won't you?"
But Agnes was wrong.
"I am sent to say,"
started the thin controller,
"that Ruth, Lucy, Jemima, and Beatrice will not be able to come out for a while. It is for that reason," he continued, "that Agnes, Gertrude, and Millicent will carry the passengers for the time being."
"Oh, yes, sir."
"Yes, sir."
the two engines answered. Some days later, it was Peter Sam's turn to pull the train, and he went,
"Come along, come along. Come along, come along."
Agnes came along nicely, but Gertrude and Millicent were skeptical.
Oh, Peter Sam's all right,"
they whispered to each other.
"But Sir Handel is better. He knows how to treat us." "Oh, yes."
Agnes was taken aback, but Peter Sam was going so nicely he hadn't heard a word of this. The platform was crowded with happy tourists. They quickly piled into the coaches.
"Oh, we can't fit anymore," the guard announced. You'll have to come back later, you will. So there."
When the last of the disappointed passengers had left the station, they were nearly ready to set off.
"Oh, if only we had Beatrice,"
Peter Sam said longingly.
"We could always fit more passengers in her."
"Oh, yes,"
"I'm just as good as Beatrice,"
put in Millicent.
"I could fit a few extra passengers myself."
"Oh, I should hope not,"
said the guard as he climbed aboard. Peter Sam had to laugh.
"It wouldn't be right to lock the guard in such a
claustrophobic.
Yes, a claustrophobic cupboard,"
Peter Sam finished.
"Humph,"
went Millicent.
"I'm no claustrophobic. I'm perfectly spacious."
Both Gertrude and Millicent were very upset and wanted to get their own back. At the middle station is a small post office. It's run by the station master's wife. She was waiting impatiently for Peter Sam with a large crate. The fireman waved a greeting as he went by. He went,
"Oh, good morning, Miss..."
"There's no time for how do you do," she interrupted. "I need you to take this to the refreshment lady."
"Oh, I'm afraid we can't," said the driver. "There's barely room for another passenger."
It was then that Peter Sam noticed something.
"Oh, what about that?"
he said. Sitting in an overgrown siding was an old red truck with mail wagon painted on the side. It had been used a lot in the old days, but fell out of use when the post office opened.
"It looks rather sturdy,"
said Peter Sam.
"I'm sure we could use it."
The driver scratched his head.
"Oh, I'm not sure if the thing controller would approve, but we've no other option, have we? No."
"Quite no. And so the men wheeled it to the end of the train.
"What on earth are you doing?" Millicent shrieked.
"We're making space for the refreshment lady's package," Peter Sam answered cheerily.
Surely I could carry the package, she protested. A truck like that ought to be carrying coal or stones or perhaps workers to the mine.
Oh, come off it now, the guard said. We don't have time. You don't have space. No, you don't.
Millicent tried and tried to argue, but the guard blew his whistle and they left before she could say anything else. Peter Sam was being very careful as they climbed.
Oh, it's a special little wagon it is. I wonder if the thin controller will let me keep it.
The coaches didn't agree.
Oh, not likely.
Oh, not likely at all.
They suddenly hit a bump in the track. Millicent and Gertrude had a horrible jerk.
Oh, you horrid engine, Millicent screamed.
But this gave her a naughty idea, and she whispered it to Gertrude.
That's brilliant,
Came a hushed reply. If the pair of them had been thinking clearly, they'd know how silly it was. But they didn't care, and simply bided their time. The guards said that Millicent put her brakes on too hard. Millicent said
the filthy wagon was joyriding on the track.
and the poor wagon was too dazed to say anything. Even so, it happened. A sheep suddenly leapt on the line just in front of Peter Sam. He whistled sharply. This was the signal for the two coaches. Agnes slowed, but Gertrude nudged into Millicent, and Millicent surged into the truck. It bounced off of buffers, bobbed along the sleepers, and crashed into the side of the line.
Oh! Cinders and ashes, Peter Sam cried. Oh, what happened?
Gertrude and Millicent were very pleased with themselves. That was until the guard went to check the box. He peered in and then groaned. When he stood back up, he was holding pieces of broken glass, covered in fresh jam.
Oh dear,
whimpered Millicent.
The freshman lady won't be happy,
said the guard knowingly. And she wasn't. Peter Sam and the coaches all stayed on the rails, and they cleared up as much mess as they could. When the refreshment lady found a package, she stormed straight to Peter Sam's cab and gave the crew an earful, but they had wisely scuppered off with their engine. So she turned her attention to the guard. He locked himself inside his compartment.
Nobody's home.
Gertrude, Millicent, and poor old Agnes were left to face her alone. The two bogey coaches were left in no doubt about their position. But that wasn't all. When they got back to the carriage shed, Agnes and the thin controller gave them 1-4-2. Oh, but they soon learned sense and are now sensible coaches, if nothing more. And as for Peter Sam, well, he was applauded for his quick thinking. Mr. Hughes surprised him a week later. The mail wagon was repaired, repainted, and as good as new. The little engine was over the moon, and he went, oh, thank you so very much, sir. I'm going to take it on all my trains from now on. And he was true to his word. When the platforms are crowded, the wagon helps carry passengers. But it much prefers to take parcels and letters to all the locals.
Oh, here comes Peter Sam. Look at him, look at him. Oh, there he is, look.
The visitors would always say when they saw him. And Peter Sam would never forget to whistle a cheerful in return.